Children, welcome back. Let us begin our day with the thought for the day. Today's thought is do more of what makes you happy. Always do the things that make you happy and the things that you all are interested in. Yesterday we read No Formalities Please, part 1. So we understood that the children of the school they wanted the permission to take the books for home reading, and they all wrote a letter to the principal. Their English teacher, Mrs. Desai, had planned to teach them formal letter writing, and then she taught them how to write a formal letter. And the children of class 4 wrote a letter to principal. Now let's see what happens next, whether they get the permission. That we will come to know in part 2. So be ready with your textbook. It's page number 38, chapter number 17. No formalities, please, part 2. Shall we begin? Yes. Mrs. Desai met the principal soon after the class. She told her about the excitement that followed the announcement of new books in the library. They just cannot wait to read all these lovely books, she beamed. The principal was also delighted and praised her. The credit goes to you, Mrs. Desai. You have created and aroused their interest in reading books. It is going to help them a great deal in future. You all will agree that reading good books, reading good stories are always going to help us a lot in future. We happen to know so many good things, and we get the ability to differentiate between what is good and what is bad. All these stories, they always come with a moral, and the moral is do good things and good things come back to you. Always try to be good. Always try to be a good person, a good citizen. Coming back to our lesson, third paragraph, if anybody has missed their line. Yes, madam, said Mrs. Desai, but they find the weekly library period too short a time to read. So my students are going to appeal to you to allow home issue of books. They have written to you a letter of request. A letter? Why? Asked the principal in surprise. I had to teach the class how to write polite formal letters, and I took this opportunity to make them actually write a formal letter, explained Mrs. Desai. Excellent, Mrs. Desai, exclaimed the principal. And I shall not dampen their interest in reading. I shall certainly allow them to take books home for reading. The next morning, the principal found a letter on her desk. She signed the letter with the remark permission granted and sent it to the librarian. To encourage the children of class 4 further, the principal instructed the librarian to give a written reply to the students. And here is what he wrote. So let us see what the librarian wrote to the children. Address of the library, Library Pragati Vidyalay, Vachanpur, 7 July 2014. Now, as I have told you yesterday, address of the sender. Now we will be writing in the upper left hand side of the page to the students of class 4. One more thing that I missed yesterday, after 2 in textbook, a comma is given. In many of the books, you will find this comma, but we need not write this comma. I repeat this point once again. After 2, we will not give the comma. We are not supposed to put that comma. And these all norms are followed by the pattern of standard 10, and that pattern only we will follow while teaching you to write formal letters. So let's read it again. Address of the sender is library Then receivers are all students of class 4. So, to the students of class 4, dear children, I am delighted to know that you are so keen on reading the new books in our school library. The principal has been kind enough to grant to your class permission for home issue facility. I shall keep the library open for an hour after school on all weekdays. You can come and collect any one book of your choice and return it the following week. But I must urge you to read and observe the library rules displayed in the library. Do come and enjoy reading the books. Sincerely yours, Mr. Vijay Patil, librarian. So the librarian sir gave a written reply to the students, and few points were mentioned that they can come and collect the book after the school gets over, and the library will remain open for the children of class 4 for an extra hour. And the library rules you all know, there should be absolute silence, remove your shoes after outside the door, and the most important, handle the book with utmost care. Never ever damage your book. Page number 39. I hope all are ready. Hey, great news! Cried the monitor. Look, we have received a letter from the librarian, and guess what? We can take storybooks home to read. Wow! Exclaimed Shruti with bright round eyes. Goodbye, boredom. Welcome, happy ass, shouted Akshay. The letter from the librarian was put up on the class notice board for all to read. When Mrs. Desai walked into the classroom, the students of class 4 burst out into many exclamations of thanks. Shall we write a letter of thanks to the librarian? Suggested Manuja. That's an excellent idea, said Mrs. Desai, smiling to herself at this new interest in formal letter writing. This is the letter of thanks the children wrote to the librarian. And letter of thanks we are going to write, that I will provide you on a separate page. So yesterday we wrote a letter to the principal, for that was the letter of request. Now the second letter we will write the letter of thanks. The format will be the same. There should be 8 points. These are the essential heads and we cannot omit any of the point. Everything on the left side, proper commas to be given. Now turn the page number 40. Things to do. Question number 1 and 2. We are supposed to write letters, but today what are we going to discuss is a different thing. Let's start with question number 3. 1 and 2, these letters I will definitely give you, or in this week I will give you a chance to write the letter. You can try writing the letters, but then if it is not possible, just leave it. These answers I will provide you in the coming week. So question number 1 and 2, two topics are given for letter writing. Try to write it. Otherwise, in next week, I will provide you the answers. Just look at question number 3, sentences and the kinds. You must have learned the kinds of sentences in standard 3, but we are going to revise them again. Let me tell you, there are 4 types of sentences and the sentence can be positive or negative. Let us read the sentences. The students of class 4 greeted their teacher. Kind is statement. Come here, Javed and Nisha. Command or request. What an opportunity! Exclamation. And should we end it with yours lovingly? Is question. So let us understand something more about types of sentences. So let's read again kinds of sentences. Assertive, or we call declarative sentence also. Interrogative sentence. imperative sentence, exclamatory sentence. The assertive sentence is sometimes called as statements also because we state something. So you can mention it as statement too. Assertive or declarative sentence is a sentence that says or states something. Therefore, it is a statement. It's a statement. Today is Tuesday. Today is a rainy day. I'm completing my homework. It's a statement. We do not expect any answer for the statement. It ends with a full stop. Few examples. English is an interesting subject. Science is my favorite subject. If we add no or not in these sentences, it will become a negative sentence. English is an interesting subject. English is not an interesting subject. Science is my favorite subject. Positive. Science is not my favorite subject. It will become negative. So all the kind of sentences can be made positive or negative. Moving ahead. Interrogative sentence. Very easy to identify because it's a question that has to be answered and it will end with a question mark. Is a sentence that asks question and expects an answer. We put a question mark or interrogative mark at the end of the sentence. Few examples. Do you want to play? What is your name? What do you like to read? And answers are expected for all these questions. Therefore, interrogative. Third type is imperative sentence. An imperative sentence is a sentence that expresses a command, order, advice, or request. And it also ends with a full stop. Example, please give me a glass of water. This is request. Give me a glass of water will be command. You should get up early. It will be in the category of advice. Exclamatory sentence is a sentence that expresses a strong or extreme feeling. It expresses our emotion like anger, happiness, surprise, and it ends with a exclamation mark. Example, what a surprise! Exclamation mark. How beautiful this painting is! What a wonderful performance! So these are types of sentences and homework for today. You can read both the chapters, part 1 and part 2, and you can identify different kinds of sentences. Once again, I am repeating the homework. Read both the part 1, part 2 once again and try to identify the kinds of sentences. And the letter which I am giving you, please write down that in your notebook. So this is all for today. Let us meet in the next session. Stay safe, stay indoors. Thank you.